Hi, it's Deb Cottle talking to you from the Cottle Kitchen, and I am so excited to be with this exceptional, special group called Women with Guts. And as long as I get the hang of this and I keep continuing to learn how to communicate better with you, we'll be able to do more fun stuff. But right now, I want you to relax. Let's take about, maybe 5 to 8 minutes of reflection, motivation, inspiration, and some exercises that I'm going to give you so that you can learn and practice some things that we're going to talk about. And we'll convene next week. So thank you for joining me. I have no idea who's on. I don't know who's been naughty or nice, but I will tell you this. It is Christmas in July, and I am so ready to celebrate. My God, here I got my candy cane glasses. I have my Christmas tree. Don't you feel happy just looking at this beautiful little tree? That's what it's all about. How do we make ourselves happy? What are the little things we can do on a daily basis to stay motivated, especially more than a day, and especially during COVID-19? So, that being aside, some of you have asked, why are you doing this? What is your goal? Well, let me tell you how it started. I'm going to take off my glasses. About 10 years ago, I was inspired to produce a program called Women with Guts, and it was a DVD series, and I started it in 2010. And actually, here it is. And a lot of you know about it, and a couple of you that might be on today are featured. Denise Brown, the sister of Nicole Brown Simpson, Connie Hahn, Patricia Gulick, and Rubiana Garza. And it was a fabulous success, and it won some awards, and I keep using it and referring to it. And 10 years later, here we go. So the reason why I started this is during COVID-19, I realize there's such a need out there to share inspiring stories and to illustrate women that have had the guts and continue to have the guts to move through transitions in their lives and to become more empowered, motivated, and inspired. So I'm starting this again. This is a re-engineered, renovated version, and it started with Michelle Holbrook. Some of you may have seen the podcast that was released just a couple weeks ago. And Michelle is an amazing realtor, friend, mother, grandmother, and she lost her son during COVID-19 due to a drug overdose. So if you haven't listened to that podcast, it should be on our group as a post. Please play it and listen to her story, and you'll get a better idea of how she was selected as Women with Guts in our second series. The podcast is audio only, but we will be doing a second version of Women with Guts, which will be the video portion, and it'll be a second documentary. 10 years ago, we created Music and Motivation, featuring Rubiana Garza, singer-songwriter who has used music all her life, writing and performing to overcome obstacles in her life, having been a sexual abuse survivor. She has a powerful story, and we'll be talking about that more as she is going to be the second interview in Women with Guts as we move forward. She will be in the second podcast. So that's why I'm continuing the message. I'm continuing the stories. And there are so many stories out there to talk about and to highlight women who have gone beyond and empowerment and motivation and have learned techniques that either I have taught or they've learned from other people. And we're going to learn together on how we can move through this crazy, challenging time, especially with COVID-19. And I'm going to give you the exercise right now. So you can think about it and write it down, which I would like you to do in the next week or so, because I just did it and it was extremely empowering. What I want you to do is go through your calendar. Now, I personally have a regular calendar, hard copy. I don't like to do it online because I like to touch the pages and I like to feel like I'm, really seeing and feeling everything that is written. And I think that's powerful. That being said, whatever works for you, I want you to look back when all this craziness happened. March, moved into April, May, June, and here we are at the end of July. And I think that you'll be really surprised to find when you look at your calendar and see what you have done, what you have experienced, what you have learned in the past few months, you will be surprised. So, what I want you to do is go through your calendar and start writing down anything that you see, small or big, what you've accomplished, what you've learned, and what you've done to move forward. Because there are some gems in what we are going through and what we have been going through over the last few months. We've gotten closer to family, we've gotten closer to friends. We've been able to Zoom. We've been having cocktail party Zooms. We've been having meetings during Zoom. We've been doing nonprofit work through Zoom on boards, which I've been doing. So there's a lot of good things that have happened. So I want you to feel like you can do this and feel like you've accomplished something during challenging times. Also, I took a few minutes to think about what I can give you in just a few minutes that we're going to go today. Some 5 tips on how to stay motivated and how to move through these challenging times. Number 1, and I'm going to get my notes, is gratitude. I want you to wake up every morning and say, oh my God, I am grateful because you know what? I just woke up this morning. Hello, with what's going on in this world, you're not with COVID-19. You're alive, you're well, you're out there to be an inspiration to other people. So give thanks for being alive and well. So wake up with gratitude and give thanks. The second thing is we've got to change our mindset. We can't wake up with doom and gloom. We can't think about all the bad things that are happening in the world. Otherwise, we'll be depressed all the time. So change your mindset. And a good friend of mine, Nancy Shores, I'm not sure if she's on or not, but if she is, thank you, Nancy. She reposted something I posted the other day, and I'm going to read it to you because I think it really makes a lot of sense. And it was from Power of Positivity, one of the organizations that I follow and do a lot of reposting. It says, train your mind to see the good in every situation. Simple, right? Because we have a choice. We could see the good and we could see the bad. But there's always a silver lining in everything, even the most challenging of situations. So please, change your mindset and you'll change your life. The third step is, or the tip, okay, how can you help someone else? And I'm putting that before the next one. What could you do for yourself? Because I think the more you can help other people, the more you're going to benefit too. So what can you do to help? What could you do today to help inspire somebody? Do you remember people's birthdays? Have you donated clothes lately? What have you done? There's got to be things that you have done and that you continue to do for others. I did this Christmas in July launch, and many of you saw that with my glasses and my tree. And I went around and I delivered Christmas gifts. Little things, a bottle of wine, a book, and I wrapped it in Christmas paper. And people were so surprised, and I thought, this is a fun thing. It's Christmas in July. Use whatever you think is appropriate and that you feel good about, and go share that with others. Pick up the phone, call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Schedule a Zoom meeting. I can't tell you how many Zoom cocktail parties we've had and reconnected with friends and family all over the world. So what can you do for others? The next tip is, what can you do for you? Because it really is up to us as individuals to be more proactive, to learn, to grow. Are you taking any classes online? Are you Zooming? Are you doing anything for self-improvement? Are you reading books? Are you listening to podcasts? What can you do for you? The next step is, and actually the final step, is don't compare yourself to others. I'm the worst at that, I have to admit. I'm always going, well, how come they're selling more real estate than I am? How come I'm not doing this? I'm not doing that. But you know what? It'll drive you crazy. It has for me. And you can't, because you just have to be the best version of yourself. And that's just good enough, right? Just do what's good for you and prioritize your time in a way that makes sense for you instead of what may work for somebody else, or well-meaning family members who give us advice and say, why don't you just focus on one thing and you'll be really successful? Well, if you're the type of person like me that would go crazy focusing on just one thing, that doesn't work. So do what works for you. And remember, give gratitude, change your mindset. What can you do to help others? What can you do for yourself? And don't compare yourself to others. And remember the exercise. I want you to go through your calendar, and I want you to go all the way back to March. And you look at March, April, May, June, and July. And you write down everything and anything that was positive during that time that you either learned from, you gained knowledge from, you've benefited from, you've helped other people through something. But I got news for you. Once you do that and you start writing that list, you'll be really surprised. So that's my little session today. Oh my God. Just go do it. I didn't have anything planned. I didn't have an agenda. I wrote a few notes. I didn't know how to do this, but I did it. So don't be afraid. Just get out there. Share your message. Have fun. And please refer anybody that you want to join this group, and we'll put them in there if you feel they're truly working on being a woman with guts or already are one. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. Bye.